What if the dead didn't stay dead? And what if the one place you thought was the end was actually just the beginning of a nightmare? Welcome back, horror fans, to our deep dive into what might be the most terrifying film of 2025, the Houston Morgue Horror. The buzz around this movie is insane, and today we're going to piece together all the clues, theories, and whispers to figure out what kind of sleepless nights this film has in store for us. So, what's the story? The plot centers on a brand new, state-of-the-art morgue facility in Houston, Texas. It's huge, sterile, and equipped with the latest technology. Our main character is a young, ambitious medical examiner named Dr. Arise Thorne. He's a skeptic, a man of science who believes that when you're dead, you're dead. He takes a job at the new Houston facility, seeing it as a major career step. He's joined by a small night shift crew, a seasoned but weary security guard named Jean, and a sharp, resourceful mortuary technician named Maya. They think it's just another job, another quiet night shift surrounded by the silent departed. They could not be more wrong. The horror begins subtly. A flickering light in a hallway, a misplaced tool, a sound from a supposedly empty cold storage unit. Arise dismisses these as quirks of a new building. Jean, who's seen a lot in his years, is a bit more uneasy. Maya, who has a deep respect for the dead and the rituals surrounding them, feels a palpable wrongness in the air. The first act is a masterclass in building atmospheric dread. The morgue itself becomes a character. Its long, white corridors, the constant hum of refrigeration, the cold steel tables. It's a place of science and order, which makes the slow intrusion of the supernatural even more jarring. The director is rumored to be using a lot of practical effects, focusing on creating a genuinely unsettling environment rather than relying on jump scares. Think long, lingering shots and a sound design that will make your skin crawl. The inciting incident, according to leaks, is the arrival of a specific set of bodies from a mysterious, multi-victim incident. They are all John and Jane Does, with no identification and no clear cause of death. As Arise begins the preliminary examinations, the strange occurrences escalate. He hears whispers over the intercom that no one else hears. Security cameras glitch out, showing fleeting, shadowy figures in empty rooms. Jean reports locked doors being found wide open. Maya finds personal effects from the new arrivals moved and rearranged in ways that seem purposeful. This is where the psychological aspect really kicks in. Is Arise just cracking under the pressure of his new high-stakes job? Or is something truly malevolent awakening within the walls of the morgue? The second act throws our characters into pure survival mode. One night, during a powerful thunderstorm that knocks out the power and communications, all hell breaks loose. The bodies, starting with the mysterious Jane Does, begin to stir, but these aren't your typical slow, shuffling zombies. The sources say the horror here is far more insidious. These entities, these revenants, retain a chilling intelligence. They don't just attack, they hunt. They mimic the voices of loved ones. They use the layout of the morgue, a place they now seem to know intimately, to trap and disorient our heroes. The film apparently plays with the idea that these aren't just reanimated corpses, but vessels for something ancient and hungry, an entity that was drawn to this place, this nexus of death. One of the most talked about sequences involves Maya being trapped in the embalming room. The entity uses the tools of her trade against her, turning a place of respectful preparation into a chamber of horrors. Meanwhile, Aris is forced to use his scientific knowledge in ways he never imagined, trying to figure out a weakness, a biological or chemical way to stop something that defies all laws of nature. His journey from a man of pure logic to someone forced to confront the unexplainable is the core emotional arc of the film. And poor Jean, the security guard, has to navigate the dark labyrinthine corridors fighting, not just for his life, but against the ghosts of his own past regrets, which the entity seems to know all about and uses to torment him. The horror isn't just about the physical threat. It's about the violation of the ultimate taboo. The morgue is supposed to be a place of finality, of peace. The film turns it into a hunting ground where the dead have all the power. Theories are swirling about the entity's origins. Some say it's tied to the land the morgue was built on. Others suggest it's a consequence of the mysterious incident that brought the bodies there in the first place. Perhaps a failed experiment or a ritual gone wrong. The film is said to drop clues throughout, encouraging viewers to piece together the puzzle. It's not just about surviving the night. It's about understanding the nature of the evil they're facing. So, what about the ending? This is where speculation is running wild. There will be no easy answers. The third act is rumored to be a relentless, claustrophobic showdown in the main autopsy theater. Aris, Maya, and Jean, armed with whatever they can find, scalpels, bone saws, chemical agents, have to make a final stand. The big question is, can you kill what's already dead? One popular theory is that the only way to stop the entity is not to destroy the bodies, but to complete the ritual they were part of. This would force Aris, the man of science, to embrace the very mysticism he's rejected his entire life. It's a brilliant character conflict. Another theory suggests a much darker, more nihilistic ending. What if they can't stop it? What if the film ends with the entity breaching the morgue and escaping into the sprawling city of Houston? The title, The Houston Morgue Horror, might not just be about a horror asterisk in asterisk the morgue, but a horror asterisk from asterisk the morgue that would be a truly terrifying sequel setup. Imagine this intelligent, body-hopping entity let loose on a population of millions. It taps into a primal fear of the unknown and the unstoppable. The creators have been very tight-lipped, but they've promised an ending that will leave audiences shaken and arguing for weeks. They want to create a new icon of horror, not just a monster, but a concept. So why are we so excited about this? First, the concept is fresh. It takes the familiar setting of a morgue and twists it. These aren't mindless ghouls. They are strategic, psychological hunters. Second, the emphasis on practical effects and atmospheric dread over cheap scares is a huge plus for true horror aficionados. We're talking about a film that wants to get under your skin and stay there. Third, the cast, though mostly composed of rising stars, is known for their intense and believable performances. This isn't a teen slasher. It's a character-driven story about professionals pushed to their absolute limits. Finally, the mystery surrounding the entity's origin and the potential for a truly shocking ending has created the perfect storm of hype. The Houston Morgue Horror is shaping up to be more than just a movie. It's an event. It's a return to the kind of smart, patient, and deeply unsettling horror that we rarely get to see on the big screen anymore. It asks terrifying questions. What happens after we die? What if the silence of the morgue is just a prelude to a scream? And what would you do if the people you were meant to care for in death rose up to hunt you in the dark? We'll be following every update, every trailer, and every rumor, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a thing. Let me know in the comments what your theories are about the entity and how you think it will all end. Thanks for watching, and try to get some sleep tonight.